Hey y'all, welcome back to the blacksmith garage. A lot of change. Gone through some different builds. Last build, two builds that we've done is the OG blacksmith. It lives out in California. Now Red Rum, which is around still. We did a full diesel build, diesel JLU build. Custom cage, 42s, Dynatracs, etc. It went out to New Jersey or Connecticut, and now we have a 2012 JKU. A few things have been done to it, but we'll do a video on that. I got a little more gray, that's for darn sure, and wanted to start getting back into videos, and hopefully we can do that more and show some cool things, and also do a video of the JKU, which has a lot of goodies. So stay tuned. So what we wanted to cover today is, JKUs, JLUs, you could get half doors and full doors right from the factory. That's how we did our JLU, and everything worked perfectly. JKUs are a bit different. JKUs, as far as I know, you could only get one set of whether it's full doors or half doors. And when you look at getting half doors for your JKU, there's just not a ton of information on them on YouTube, on the forums. It's not very easy, and when you go to the dealership, they can give you part numbers, but guess what? Most of the part numbers are all discontinued. I found the very last rear wiring harness for something with power mirrors and power locks and power windows, and surprisingly it was right here at the local dealership. But those things are gone for JKUs. We're getting vintage with the JKUs now, which is always cool, and fun to find parts. So today's video, I'm going to go through just the rears on how to take your manual. You'll pick up a set of half doors. Don't ruin your full doors. Just keep those on the wall where mine are. You can add power locks, heated mirrors, all that. We'll go through that. But this video is for the rears. It's probably the most simple for those that are charging $600-700 for these doors. Run from those. Each of the doors that I have found were $100 to $150 a piece. $100 for the rears, $150 for the fronts. That's what I found. I think my two fronts cost me $350 total, but and they were local. My rears were about $100 a piece. Those will have everything you need to do this correctly. If you verify the plug is right, and if you verify that it has the options that your Jeep came with. Plug's important, but also power locks is also important. So you got your rears on, and I actually like to put them on the Jeep just to have a workbench. I mean, this is a perfect workbench, and really this is really simple, guys. So don't worry about messing anything up. It should be very simple. But where you're gonna start is taking bolts out here, and we're gonna unsnap each around. We're gonna take that out, and if your half doors have these in them, spacers, or maybe alignment spacers, I guess, those things will come out. Just lift the panel up, but very simple. There's also one here, and I'm not sure that's really required. I always take it out because you're gonna have to take this whole mechanism out anyways. So real simple, and what we need to get to is this. This is coming out. So most half doors do not come with power locks. So that piece needs to be replaced with a power lock. And how you can tell is look at your plug. There's only 2 wires. That plug does nothing really, other than I think show you how to show you on the dash if the door's closed or open. But this plug doesn't even work in my 2012 JKU, so we're gonna change it out. So as I mentioned, there is this piece right here, and it's a T30, and really all of them are T30s. If I can remember correctly, on the fronts as well, they're all the same. Maybe one was a little different. And you're just gonna pull. And then it'll just lift off, just like that. You can see those spacers are gonna come out. There we go. So this is what you got inside of that door. You can see the wiring harness go through there. Just a couple of pins, and that's all that there is to this door. So that wiring harness is going to come out, and since this isn't a locked version like the front, this one's pretty simple. So we're going to take that mechanism out, but first we're going to take out those 3 bolts. You can see that one hiding under there. These are still T30s. And then once you get to the wiring harness, there is a small pin in there, or a small plug from the wiring harness. You need to push down and pull, and you can pull on the wires. You're not going to use it again, so I usually leverage the wires here to pull, but that needs to come out, and then you can remove this as well. So this whole mechanism comes out, including the latching system. All right, the last bolt you have, you're gonna take off a grommet, and there is a 8mm nut sitting right there. You need to loosen that up. I take it all the way out, and worst case scenario is it goes into the door, and you've got the door panel off, so you can remove that. So here's what's gonna come out of the door. That was pretty simple. Just wiggles it out, and then as you get to the wiring harness, I'm going to also take these bolts out and just get this wiring harness all the way out, so you have a fully clean door. You're going to leave the handle in. The handle is still there, see, but you're going to have a clean door. And what we're going to do next is go to the full door. So the next step that I like to do is take the half door off, put it somewhere nice so you don't mess up the paint, and put the full door onto the Jeep, kind of like a working surface, and start pulling it apart. Now, where you need to start is you need to plug the door into the Jeep and put the window down. The window needs to be down to then unhook it from the slide or the rail, and then push it all the way up so you can actually get the full inners out. All right, the half door is off and the full door is on. Got the window down, and this is pretty simple, just like the half door. You're gonna take out multiple bolts. You do not have to take these out. This will actually pull off, and there's 2 bolts in there. There's a cover here that you're going to remove, and you're going to see a bolt. You've got the bolt here. All right, now that's all we're going to concentrate on for now, because you need to remove the interior panel, and the fronts had another panel that included all the window hardware, etc. So let's get into this. The sizes are T25 and the T30. I believe all these are T25. So grab it. Start taking the interior panel off. And then we got to take this piece off here. It's going to just pop out. And then you're going to have two more that need to come out. So once you got them all out, you're just going to pull. If you feel like you're going to break it, you're not breaking it. There it is. And look at that goodness. So, looks complicated. It's not. Just got to unplug some things. Unplug these from the handle. What we're trying to get to is the latch. Now, the hardest part about this piece is getting the window back up and taped by yourself. You don't have to take this motor out. This motor doesn't have to come out. This whole piece will come out and it will come with it. You just have to unplug it. I'm going to first start with these. It's T30, and then I'm going to take each one of these bolts out. There. And then there's another T30 here on the handle, and all of those have to come out. So I believe these, well, they are 10 millimeter. Again, you don't have to take these out. I did on my first door, not a big deal. But the most complicated piece are these little windows. If your little windows are still intact like mine, they have to be cut out. Really simple, just get an X-Acto knife and cut. What I've noticed is to cut down this line and cut down here, and then we'll pop through. That will give you access to the window release, basically release button, and there's two of them, 1, 2, and you're gonna put a flathead screwdriver in and pop the window up, and then come up to the top and find the window and pull it all the way to the top. What we're doing is we're taking these, putting it through, and just working them down. All right, we've got those two doors off, and you can see in there, there's a white piece down in there, and you're gonna put a flathead screwdriver in, and you're gonna push and basically leverage up. You don't have to do anything hard, don't break the window, but that's how you are going to unlock the door, or sorry, unlock the window and push it up. And then you need some tape to tape it up. That was the hardest part of this whole thing. Basically, the only thing you gotta do is disassemble and assemble. And then if you wanna keep the full door, you can put the stuff you got out of your half door back in. It all exchanges, but we'll keep going with the build. Sometimes in some of these doors, I've actually removed the panel, and you can't remove it fully, but to give yourself an easy access or at least visibility on how to unlock the window, you can actually take this inner door piece off and see what you're doing. Sometimes it doesn't always work the way you want it to, so that's what I did. You can see I've got my my window unlocked, and I'm gonna grab it with my hands and pull it up. It's 10 millimeter. Just taking all the bolts out. So the next thing you're gonna do is remove these two, just unclip them from here, from the handle. And then each of the doors have little stays, basically locks, that you have to unlock. Really simple, just get a small flathead screwdriver, push, basically leverage them toward the back of the Jeep or the back of the door, and they will unclip. That will allow you to get the inner piece out. Go through the door. So what we're going to do is we're going to get in and take the 8mm nut out, and then we are going to take the 3 bolts out and just pull this whole mechanism out. Next, the cables, all of them, green, red, there's a yellow in here. Remove those from the black piece, and all they do is simply push, twist, pull that out. Leave all these in because these will match the other latch. Same with what you're going to do with the half door. So if you can skip all this step, you can just take the latch out, right? Don't worry about these if you're not going to put the full door back together. I am, so I don't have pieces everywhere. So all this will just be plug and play and swappable. All right, so to show you, that's still the power locks latch. This is a manual latch, but as you can see, you're not taking any of these out. You're going to keep them in place, unlock them. See how the locks are the same? You're going to unlock these from the full doors and just flip them. All right, remember this black piece came off full doors? The half door has one too. So you got to take it off, and as you can see, it also has a red cable connected to it, or rod, whatever it is. So what you need to do is same thing, unlock. This one actually doesn't have a bottom one, I don't believe. Yeah, so just the top on the half door side, and you're going to take this whole mechanism off and put it on your power latch, which I've already swapped. All right, swapped over. Now this is green on mine, it was red on the full door, but this is all you needed to do. It was just a latch mechanism, so this is ready to go back into the half door. All right, the next thing is we're going to flip back to the half door. You're going to fish it through back here, get your 3 bolts from the back side, and bolt this mechanism back in. Remember, there's a 8mm nut that goes here, and there's a stud in the door that it'll land on. You may want to install your wire harness, which I will do because I can't get in there with my hands, but almost there. I pointed to this. It's actually this piece. We got the wiring in. Some might ask, what do I do with the plug for the window? Well, it's just sitting right there. There's no issue of it just hanging out. I zip tied it, and so it didn't rattle, but that's what we got. The mechanism's back in, as I mentioned. I just zip tie it, nobody's gonna see it, but so it's just not rattling. Latching system, all done. That grommet back in. Remember, put the 8mm back in. And then the wiring harness. You can see we have the latch, and it's all working. Now what I like to do though is prior to putting the whole interior back on, or the whole interior panel back on, I like to try it out. Lock it inside. Doesn't open. Lock still works. Unlock. Open it from the inside. So the mechanisms are working. So now let's wrap it up. Next step is to put the interior piece back on. And once that's back on, you're set to plug it back in and see if the power locks work. Now, one thing, I would take the window spacers out because it is a little bit more challenging. In the front, it's a lot more challenging to put the interior piece back in, and they just push right out. So push them out, put the interior piece back in, and then push them back down into their locations. We're just going to set it back on. Boom. Well, y'all, that's all there is to it. Not hard. Takes me, while I'm filming, probably took me an hour to do one door. I've already done the fronts, but I'm gonna make a video on the fronts because I have to take them apart again because I had the locking cylinders matched to my key. So the fronts are a little bit more involved, really, because you have to drill one hole on the outside under the mirror if you want heated mirrors. Not a big deal, but the rears are done. They work, and now you have full power locks in the rear, and if you follow my next video, in the fronts as well. Great job. Thanks. See ya.